The topic of this video is, why do husbands always come back after separation or divorce, and yet they refuse to stay with their wife? And yet at the end of the day, they will end up going back. Due to the experience I have gotten from counseling a lot of marriages, especially godly daughters of God, I have discovered 7 good reasons why you see them behaving like this. So I'm going to explain one by one, step by step, why husbands will come back and yet they are not willing to stay to build the marriage. They are not staying to make sure that the marriage is completely healed. They will keep coming back and forth. And then the most important thing is what you can do if you're facing this kind of circumstances. What can you do right now in order for you to change this situation? Because your marriage must be totally healed, child of God. Your marriage is perfectly healed, and that is what you should know. Take the power right now by following the things I will discuss, and then the last section is what you need to do in order for you to be able to keep your husband with you without him being distracted, being carried away, being misbehaving the way he used to be. Yes, there are ways you can do that. So make sure you stick to the end of this video to learn that. The very first reason you see them keep coming back and forth, because they love you. Because when they remember the first experience they have with you, when you guys newly met, when you guys were dating, when you guys newly married, the love, the fun moment you were sharing with him, and this one thing, he will imagine, oh, can I have this kind of experience with her again? You see him coming back. You see him wanting to have that experience, but something is keeping him back. Something is pulling him away from you because he is hot. He loves you, but he is hot. There is something still in him that is being a barrier between you and him. And one of the things that they need in this kind of circumstances is time. Do not be hard on yourself or hard on him. Do not beat yourself up and say, oh, why did he come back if he doesn't love me, if he doesn't want to restore this marriage, if he doesn't want to reconcile with me fully? Why is he coming back? Why is he seeking to have fun with me, to have sex with me? Child of God, understand that the man might be hot. There is something, maybe he felt that he's being betrayed. He felt that he's not being respected. He felt that you are not ready to submit to him. He felt that you have not changed. There is something that is still in the gap. And the good news is, if you can be able to pay attention to that thing that is in between you guys, he will stay. He will definitely stay, child of God. The number 2 reasons why you see them coming back and forth with you is because they are still in doubt if you truly changed. The major reason for this is that they don't want to be hurt again, and they don't want to go back to the same old marriage that you guys were having, like the marriage of quarreling, fighting, rubbing shoulders, and all those kind of a thing. Yes, they still want to be with you. That's why you see them coming back, and then tomorrow they become cold. Tomorrow you see them hot. I want to. Next tomorrow I don't want. They are in confusion state, child of God. And instead of you to pour all your energy, making yourself more angry for him not willing to stay, not willing to be committed to restoring your marriage, child of God, patience is greatly needed in this particular aspect. You have to be patient. And then you have to focus on the things that matters. Those little things that your husband used to complain, child of God. Do your own part. These are the things that the enemy might be using to flag on his face, to tell him, I told you, she can never change you. I told you that she's so stubborn. I told you that she's selfish. I told you this and that. And you see him keep being a confused man. Today, he will come, I want to restore. Tomorrow, he will move back. Child of God, focus on removing this little grain that is in your eye, and you will see the Lord removing those big scales that is covering his eyes. Yes, the Lord Jesus said that we should not judge others, but we should pay attention to our own self first. Remove those little things that are in your eye. It is very important, child of God. Your husband will come to value you. This is your portion, and you just need to obey this instruction that is given to you this day. Number 3 important reasons you see your husband keep coming back and forth with you is because of his ego. I mean, men, naturally they are egoistic in nature. Sometimes they don't want to look so cheap. They don't want to look like someone that cannot keep their words, especially when they were the one that make the move, when they were the one that say, oh, I want a divorce. I'm out of this marriage. This is one of the things he will keep coming back and forth to prove to you, see, because I am here trying to be with you does not mean that I've forgotten that I said I will not be with you. See, I am still a man. I just want you to beg me. Don't mind me. It's not saying like that. I'm just making a little fun. Yes, child of God. He just wants to feel needed. I hope you understand. He just wants to see you truly need him. He just wants to feel the man that he is. Just need a little pamper, a little care from you to say, oh, please, I know that you wanted to go, but I believe we can be friends again by making sure that you are his friends. I am not saying for you to beg him, okay? But you can make him feel that he is needed by making sure that you become his friend, that you are genuinely interested in him, that you are being a good wife, a responsible, caring wife that you should be, that you are paying attention to the things that matters, and most importantly, that you are not defensive, like I want to be the one that win this case. I want to be the one to tell you that you were at fault. Yes, why are you telling me this? No, don't you remember that you used to do this, you do that? You used to tell me I am not good enough. You used to tell me I'm a lazy woman. Don't you remember that? No, child of God, don't mind me today. I'm just in a good mood. All I'm saying is, child of God, please, if this marriage is important to you, please, if your husband's ego is at stake, it's time to start feeding the ego. Yes, there is a way to do that. By making him feel more like a man, by being more appreciative of every little effort he is doing now, especially during the reconciliation section. Even if it's just as little as him helping you to go and pick the children up from school, please appreciate him. Say thank you. You are really a caring father. I'm telling you the little secrets that works. It works. So feed his ego, child of God, and you will see him coming back fully to say, wow, yes, truly I made a mistake. Let me own up to my mistake. Reason number 4, you see your husband keep coming back and forth, is because he is very confused. And most of the time, it's because of the kind of advice he's getting from people, from family members, from friends. I mean, when he will come to his senses, his mind, his subconscious mind will tell him, man, child of God, you are not doing right thing. Go to your wife. And then the next minute, a friend will come and tell him, come, let's go to club. Come, there is a young woman there that has been admiring you. Why are you wasting your time with this girl that is not paying attention to you? The next thing, you will see the mother or the father will call. Even the sister will call him and say, why are you still going out with that saucy girl that don't know how to respect somebody? Child of God, your husband is just confused because of all these little advice that are going on. You see, that's why you see him back and forth. So, in this kind of situation, all you just need to do is to keep being yourself. Maintain your identity. Let him understand that if he keep paying attention to those people, he is missing something. Okay, I'm not saying by you speaking it, no. We are working more of action, less of words. More of action, less of words. So bring out your value, bring out those good nature that the Lord deposited in you. And one day, your husband will be bold like the prodigal son. He said, no, enough is enough. Please don't give me such advice. I don't need it again. I don't need it. I don't need it again. I will arise and go to my father. My home is better. My wife, even though you don't see any good in her, I know she is a good woman. I am going to go back to cherish her. Hallelujah. Your husband is going to do this by you maintaining your stand, by you making sure that because he's confused, you don't also allow him being confused to make you to be confused. You understand me? Don't allow his actions to determine your reaction. That because he come today and suddenly pick a quarrel with you and tell you I don't need it again, you now even be the one to go and pull the door and tell him, oh yeah, walk out of my house. That because he's telling you his mom said I should not come to you again, then you pick the phone, you pick your own phone and call the woman and start insulting the woman and start calling her names and start pouring, I don't even need your son again. I don't need this marriage. In fact, I'm going to file divorce. Child of God, all I'm saying is two wrong cannot make a right. That your husband is living in confusion shouldn't make you to also live in confusion. Take a stand. Work on your value. Work on your marriage. Keep trusting God. Maintain what you have, and you will see that the Lord will open your husband's eye to see that this is the path he must walk on. Point number 5 that is making your husband to keep coming back and forth is because he's beginning to enjoy the freedom he's having. I mean, the freedom from separation or divorce. When you guys were married, he hardly go out to club, he hardly go out to party. But because he's separated, he feels he have the right to go out, he have the right to visit friends, he have the right to smoke, he have the right to do all those things. And in his mind, especially now, he feels it is freedom. And most of the time, he will be afraid that if I am serious with my wife again, she will not allow me to enjoy this freedom. Yes. So that is when you see him in this kind of situation. He loves his freedom and he also loves you. He doesn't want to lose his freedom and he doesn't want to lose you. And you keep seeing him back and forth today, because if he tells you he's going to go to club, you will be angry. You see him start fighting with you right now in order for him to go to club. All I'm saying, I'm not saying this kind of lifestyle is good. So remember I told you that we are going to talk a bit about what you can do when you are faced in this kind of problem. And I try as much as I can to also add advice in each of these circumstances, because sister, I want you to solve problems. You see, on this channel, you are not just, I don't talk to people that just watch for entertainment. No, I'll talk to ready mind, people that want to conquer the enemy in their marriage, people that want to solve their marriage problem. Child of God, say, your marriage is meant to be enjoyable, not manageable. Yes, your marriage will become a testimony if you believe. It doesn't matter the extent that the enemy has attacked your marriage so far. It doesn't matter where your marriage is currently at, but the glory of the Lord will be seen in your marriage if you believe. So do not give up. Make sure that you apply these things and add prayer and fasting, and you will be amazed. I know you will testify. So when your husband is battling freedom nature, please, as at this point, do not pressure him. Do not question, like living a life of questioning. Where are you? What are you doing? Who are you with? Yesterday we were here and suddenly you're now trying to go out again. No, don't do that. Now, don't do that. There are ways to to go about doing these things. But as at this point, those questionings are not needed, because the more you do that, the more he will feel you are trying to control him. And this is one of the things that men dread. They don't want to be controlled. And child of God, because the Lord is opening your eyes to learn how to do things differently. That is why I said, well, if you don't know how to go about it, you can feel free to reach out to me for one-on-one counseling, guidance, support on how to get this done. That is if you believe in results, if you truly want to solve this problem, okay? You can feel free to reach out to me for one-on-one counseling on this. But let's continue as we were discussing. Don't make your husband to feel that you're trying to take his freedom away, okay? Allow him. Remember, the best thing to do now is to submit him to God, for God to continue working on him. When you see him start misbehaving like this, go to your closet, go and tell your father, Daddy, he is stepping out. I don't know where he is going. Please, God, lead him not into temptation. Guide his footsteps for me. Wherever he is, do not let him fall into temptation. Even if the enemy might try to throw things in his presence like strange women or side chick, please disconnect every connection between him and these people. See, child of God, God answers prayer. If you live like this, you'll start seeing a change in your husband's life. That the more he goes out and see that you are not controlling him, and then when he's going out, because you have already sent the power of God there, God is going to be causing confusion between him and those lifestyles, that he will never find joy there. And that is why he's going to come back and embrace the peace, the joy that you have created at home, child of God. Yes. So point number six, that your husband, that is making your husband to keep battling back and forth. Today he will reconcile, tomorrow he will relapse, is because he's battling something in him. I mean, this one has to do with him. He's battling guilt. There must be something that he has done somewhere that he's not proud of. And you may think that it's because of you. No! Most of these things that you see them battling, most of these things you see him battling, is he might do it maybe during the separation or during the divorce, or even probably before the marriage was broken. But all I'm saying is that your husband might be struggling. Okay, there's something that the Lord is bringing him to judgment. God is working on him, presenting this thing before his eyes for him to see that this thing that he did or this thing that he is doing is not good. And child of God, this is to your advantage. So instead of you to I want him back fully, relax and allow God to finish his work in his life. Allow God to train him. Allow God to keep talking to him, keep revealing this thing to him, keep correcting him, keep working on him for you, so that as he is coming back permanently, you will see him a different and a changed person. And number 7th point, you see your husband struggling, coming back, and then tomorrow he will want to go back, separating or divorce, is because he has lost God, because he is no more walking in the presence of God. And because he is in this position, child of God, he can be easily manipulated. Yes. External influence can easily catch him. That is why you need to be on your knees, steadfastly in the presence of God, praying for your husband. Pray and set him free. Pray and set him free from the captivity of the enemy. It is not time to fold hand. I've seen a lot of women that we are walking. Immediately their husband come back, they feel the joy and they start jumping up. And because of that, they neglect the most important thing, which is continuing in the presence of God. And because talking about these sisters, because they detach themselves from God. Because we are just working together, we solve the problem and they see solution. They see their husband coming back, they get carried away, and most of the time you see them still battling this thing we are discussing here. So please, if you are standing for your marriage and you are trusting God, you are praying, you're fasting, and the Lord bring back your husband, do not quit waiting upon the Lord. Do not cease praying for your husband, because the enemy is saying that he is about to lose the battle. He's about to lose the battle. He's about to lose the battle. He's about to lose the battle. Lose. The enemy has seen that he's about to lose the battle, and that is why he's coming back. He might throw a comeback attack on your husband. This is a bonus tip. Tip number 8. Before we now move into the things you need to do to stop this back and forth, okay? A bonus tip is that the enemy can can come back to fight this restoration. So most of the time you see your husband coming back and forth, it might be the enemy's handwork. Do not be hard on him. Do not, because he is doing this and you start quarreling and start getting depressed again, start making yourself unhappy again because of all this back and forth. When you do this, you are going to open more door for the enemy to enter, child of God. Your home is going to definitely be completely healed. That is the intention of God for you, child of God. Yeah, so now it's time for us to discuss what to do. How can you stop this back and forth? What can you do on your own end that can encourage your husband and make him to stop coming back and forth? You know what I mean by back and forth? Like, today I want to reconcile, tomorrow I don't want the marriage again. The time for this to stop has come, and this is now. You have to also make that decision that now is the time, child of God. So the first thing I will encourage you to pay attention and start doing is for you to understand that everything now depends on your own next action. Everything now depends on how you handle his weaknesses, his confusion, his back and forth. Okay, how do you handle it? How do you encourage him to become more stronger when he is struggling? This indecisiveness. What approaches are you using to follow him in this kind of circumstances? So you must make a conscious decision. Make a clear decision that you will not react based on your husband's action, even during this reconciliation section. That is confused, is doing back and forth, that you will remain who you are, and that you will keep being good to him, that you will keep being nice to him, that you will keep doing your own part, that you will keep praying for him, that you will keep doing, all the things that you used to do that got you guys reconciled in the first place. Take decision that I will do my part, and this is your own part. This is the thing you need to do. And child of God, the Lord God, your Father that you're serving, is a rewarder of those who diligently seek him. As you diligently seek God and following these things, doing your own part, God will definitely open your husband's eye completely and make him to come back fully. Yes. Number 2 things you need to start doing right now. Another thing you need to do right now is for you to pay attention to the things that are going wrong. Okay? Because I've seen a case whereby, because the husband is back, the wife also relapsed to her old self. She's no more doing those things that she was doing that was encouraging the husband to come back. You understand what I mean? So because your husband is coming back and you're seeing him with all these signs, what you need to do now is pay attention to, okay, why is he exhibiting this sign? Could it be that I'm showing insecurity? I am desperate? Am I pushing him too hard? Start paying attention to what is going wrong between you and him that could make him to keep doing like this. So instead of you to attack him like exchanging words, asking him, why are you doing like this? Why are you doing like this? Pay attention to the problems, those little problems that are remaining, and then tackle them. Tackle the enemy and you will win the war, not your husband. Your husband is not the problem, child of God. Remember that when we are talking about things that are going wrong, one of the things might be things that he is expecting you to adjust, to change. So you need to continue adjusting, changing, continue learning how to become a better version of you. And this will encourage him. This will make him to say, wow, I love this kind of version of my wife and I want to be part of it. I want to be with my wife, this kind of my wife that is always happy, that is always being fun to be with. When you keep focusing on what you need to do, child of God, encourage him. It definitely will encourage him to be with you. Another important thing for you to work on is that you will definitely get him completely when you change your attitude. You see, when your attitude is right, fact does not matter. The fact that your husband come back and tell you, I want to work things out with you, and then tomorrow is going back to this strange woman, and maybe somebody just called you and told you that your husband is with the strange woman in the hotel. And you can even prove the point by going to the hotel and even truly you saw your husband with that woman. And you will say, yes, that is the fact. Yes. When your attitude is right, fact does not matter. And what do I mean by attitude? Now that you have seen the fact that your husband actually slipped back to committing adultery, with this strange woman, slip out to taking another woman to hotel, even after he said he wants to work things out. Your attitude of, Father, I know you would change this situation. Father, I know you are working on my husband. Lord, you are in charge, not my will. Let thy will be done. When that attitude is resolute, when you have that belief, that strong, immovable belief on God, that God will change your husband, you'll be surprised that even in the process of your husband being with the strange woman, that the Lord will cause confusion between them. And suddenly, you will see your husband coming back fearfully, and he will be so angry. And he will say, I will never cheat on my wife again. It happens. I've seen it. I've heard about it. And it will be your own testimony, child of God. The fact that your husband has done that does not mean that he cannot change any moment, okay? And that is attitude. So attitude makes you to remain focused when things seems not right. And because you remain focused and keep trusting God, you will become the winner at last. Because definitely good will always overpower evil. Good, as you are trusting, as you are building your faith up, as you are walking and maintaining the right path, you will definitely win the bad side, because your husband will come to regret. He will come to say, no, I am doing wrong thing. Look at my wife. My wife is so good. My wife is faithful. Even in all these things that I'm doing, she is still prosperous. She's still, no. I will go and seek for pardon. And that is when you see them come back. They will definitely come back, child of God. Remain resolute, focus, maintain a right attitude, and then you will see that nothing will stop this reconciliation between you and your husband. Do not forget, another thing that you need to do is for you to keep focusing on yourself, especially now, because you might be carried away by sudden changes in him. Today he's good, tomorrow he becomes worse, and because of that, instead of you to pay attention to yourself by preparing yourself, keep developing yourself, keep working on yourself, keep polishing yourself, you start following your husband's attitude, neglecting the most important part, which is you. Because it is you, becoming you, that will attract the better version of your husband. Yes, becoming a better version of you, a more valuable version of you, will make your husband not to joke and play with you anymore. So if you neglect yourself because your husband is playing back and forth, and you start following him. They say your husband wants to go to a strange woman. You leave what you are doing, leave the book that you are reading, leave the important lessons that you are taking to run and go and check whether your husband is with another woman. You are not paying the attention to the things that matters. I hope you are following. So another important thing you need to focus on right now is for you to make sure that you always maintain a cheerful attitude. Let me tell you, even though he might go outside and then those places there is no happiness, don't mind the fake happiness. Say, oh, come, let's drink, come, let's party, come. Fake happiness, but the real peaceful nature, he can only find it at home. Just as I said, and that is only where the prodigal son find his. He said, no, my father's house is better, than even the maids are more served. They have better food to eat. They are more taken care of than here. Hello? So your husband is going to also declare the same. How can I come to this side chick or this strange woman and all of a sudden she's here insulting me? Don't you know that my wife don't play with me? Don't you know that my wife is very respectful? Who are you? And child of God, that will make him to run and come back. Okay, but a situation when those strange women or side chick are showing him attitude and you are here also giving him attitude, what is the difference? Because he is in confusion state, coming back and forth. Child of God, you must maintain a cheerful attitude. The Bible said that the joy of the Lord is your strength. Even though your garden do not blossom, even though your victory bringeth no fruit, even though your vineyard do not bring any vine, child of God, yet you are to rejoice in the Lord. And this is what will win the final battle. Continue to remain a cheerful attitude. No man wants to be with a woman that is always squeezing her face. You want to prove that you are angry because your husband wants to go to party, and because of that you're squeezing your face. Your husband just walk in and greet you. You don't want to answer him. You just squeeze your face. My dear, you are going to make him not to come again. Remain a cheerful, keep a cheerful attitude. Keep a joyful composure. Make sure that you keep allowing the joy of the Lord to be your strength. This joy, you can only find it in God. That is why I keep maintaining, lean on God. Go to God, sing praises to God, and then he will strengthen you in time like this. But child of God, when you see your husband behaving like this, make sure that you don't show him any negativity. Do not make him feel that what he is doing is hurting you. That is the secret. Maintain as much as you can. You can technically excuse yourself. Please, let me ease myself. I mean, when your emotions are coming up, you can technically excuse yourself. You can go and cry in the presence of God. But do not keep showing your husband weaknesses, that what he is doing is keeping you down. Because the more he knows that you are down, the more he will be outside. And the more he will keep doing what he is doing. Child of God, that is how it is. And please do not forget to work and continue working on controlling your emotions. I reserve this last thing to the last people that knows the importance of this video. As you watch this video to this point, the most important thing that you will use that will help you to navigate this confusion state of your husband is your ability to control your emotions, your ability to remain who you are, even in the face of confusion, even in the face of your husband feeling that you are stupid, even in the face of your husband doing the things that is hurting you intentionally. Your ability to remain who you are will finally pull him out of those confusion state, child of God. Controlling your emotions is one of the most important things for you to do right now. You see, it's not about perfection. There is no perfect human being on earth. Even the Bible has confirmed that. Your husband is not perfect. Even people that are in their marriages, The men in their marriage, they are not perfect. Even us ladies, we are not perfect. All I'm saying is that the power for you to be able to navigate a difficult situation with a difficult person is your ability to navigate yourself. Your ability to keep yourself in charge. Your ability to give yourself command. Your ability to tell yourself, no, I am not going to give this attitude. These things that this guy is doing, I'm not going to give that thing power over me. No, that person's behavior, my husband's behavior, cannot ride over me. I am in charge of myself. I am in charge of my power. I trust my God. I know my God is in charge. I know my God has done it. I know my God will keep working on him. I know my God will change my husband for me. Child of God, when you remain in this position, nothing, absolutely nothing will stop your restoration. Your husband will completely come to embrace this person that you have become. And that is why you need to keep working on it. Child of God, you are blessed. Remember that if you need a one-on-one counseling on how to actually reconcile and maintain a peaceful marriage with your husband, I'm not just talking about back and forth. I'm talking about reconciling and having a total marriage reconciliation. You need a one-on-one support. Feel free to reach out to me. You will see my contact in the description of this video. The Lord God will continue to bless and empower you, child of God. Remain blessed. See you in my next video.